tonight. His Majesty the King tells youth leaders they have a key role in the kingdom's reforms and should make their voice heard. The King and the Prime Minister call for an end to bloodshed in Syria. And world leaders congratulate President Barack Obama after he wins a second term in office. Good evening, you're watching the news at 10. His Majesty the King said the youth have a key role in the kingdom's reform process and should make their voice heard. He said a historic opportunity exists today that should be seized to institutionalize the work of youth to help achieve their aspirations, a bigger say in national affairs, and contribute to nation building. King Abdullah told youth activists from various persuasions that he supports every effort to boost the youth's capacity and ensure an effective involvement in building the future. He said upcoming parliamentary elections are a watershed in the reform process, adding all segments, namely the youth, should take this opportunity and build on it. Noting that 70% of the country's population is young, the King told the youth leaders, your voice is heard, your opinion counts, and your role is fundamental in building the country. On elections, he reiterated the polls will be fair and transparent, warning that anyone trying to manipulate them will be held accountable. His Majesty told the young leaders that their voice would lay down the foundations for political participation on the basis of programs that should put forward solutions to challenges. His Majesty the King and British Prime Minister David Cameron held talks on Jordanian-British ties and challenges facing the Middle East. The two leaders said they have a mutual interest to forge closer ties in various fields. Cameron said Britain's relations with Jordan are excellent, calling the kingdom a friend with which his country cooperates closely. On Syria, King Abdullah and Cameron called for an end to violence and bloodshed in the country and stressed the urgency of a solution to put an end to the suffering of Syrian people. King Abdullah stressed that Syria's territorial integrity and its unity be maintained, warning against the catastrophic consequences of the crisis on the region. Cameron said he understood the situation on Jordan's northern border, stressing his country's commitment to the kingdom's security and stability. He hailed Jordan for receiving 236 Syrian refugees, adding he is aware of the burden the exodus posed to the Jordanian economy. They also agreed on the need to revive efforts to solve the Palestinian-Israeli conflict and urged all parties to uphold the two-state solution. Turning to Jordan's reforms, King Abdullah said the next years are crucial in Jordan's political history, which will see formation of parliamentary governments. Cameron announced he is appointing Baroness Morris of Bolton as the UK's trade representative in Jordan in a further step to strengthen commercial ties between the two countries. The British Prime Minister said as he arrived in Amman earlier in the day that London and Washington should make a priority finding a way to solve this Syrian crisis following the re-election of President Barack Obama. Cameron said he and Obama can do more to solve Syria's crisis and improve the world economy.
To congratulate Barack Obama on his re-election. I've really enjoyed working with him over these last few years, and I look forward to working with him again over the next 4 years. There's so many things that we need to do. We need to kickstart the world economy, and I want to see a EU-US trade deal. Right here in Jordan, I'm hearing appalling stories of what has happened inside Syria, and one of the first things I want to talk to Barack about is how we must do more to try and solve this crisis.
Cameron later toured the Zaatari refugee camp in northern Jordan, housing about 40,000 Syrian refugees. He announced an additional donation of 14 million sterling pounds that brought to 53 million and a half pounds the total British contributions to the refugees' relief efforts. Foreign Minister Nasser Judeh conveyed a message from His Majesty the King to Bahrain's monarch Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa on enhancing ties between the two countries. Judeh discussed with King Hamad various regional issues of common interest and said Jordan strongly condemned recent terrorist bombings in the Gulf Kingdom. Jude joins his counterparts from Cooperation Council nations at a meeting in Manama to discuss ways to bolster strategic relations with Jordan. Jude said Jordan is keenly interested in cementing stronger ties with Bahrain in various fields. Still here at home, Prime Minister Abdullah Mansour and Chief Telecom Executive Officer Stefan Richard discussed ways of how to upgrade the company's services. The Prime Minister hailed the success story of Jordan Telecom Group Orange as a model for privatization that reflects a genuine partnership between the public and the private sectors. Richard spoke about the company's $1 billion investment in Jordan and praised the partnership with the Jordanian government. He said his company has made social contributions through supporting charity work. Crowds of Radi supporters shouting 4 more years gathered out the White House to cheer the re-election of President Barack Obama. Obama rolled into a second term in the White House after defeating Republican challenger Mitt Romney and overcoming deep doubts about his handling of the economy. Farah Hajlouni reports on the mood after election results were announced.
President Obama threw a second term in the White House. He overcame deep doubts among voters about his handling of the economy to score clear victory over Republican challenger Mitt Romney. Americans choose to stick with a divided government in Washington by keeping the Democratic incumbent in the White House, leaving the U.S. Congress as it is, with Democrats controlling the Senate and Republicans keeping the House of Representatives. Obama arrived to a rapturous ceremony in his hometown of Chicago.
And whether I earned your vote or not, I have listened to you. I have learned from you. And you've made me a better president. And with your stories and your struggles, I return to the White House more determined and more inspired than ever about the work there is to do and the future that lies ahead.
The nationwide popular vote was extremely close, with Obama taking about 50% to 49% for Romney after a campaign in which the candidates and their party allies spent a combined $2 billion. Romney, the multimillionaire former private equity executive, came back from a series of campaign stumbles to make it close after besting the president in the first of 3 presidential debates. The former Massachusetts governor conceded in a gracious speech delivered to disappointed supporters at the Boston Convention Center.
I have just called President Obama to congratulate him on his victory. His supporters and his campaign also deserve congratulations. I wish all of them well, but particularly the President, the First Lady, and their daughters. This is a time of great challenges for America, and I pray that the President will be successful in guiding our nation.
President Obama scored impressive victories in the crucial state of Ohio and heavily contested swing states of Virginia, Nevada, Iowa, and Colorado. At least 120 million American voters had been expected to cast votes in the race after a campaign that was focused on how to repair the ailing economy. The same problems that dogged Obama in his first term are still there to confront him again. He faces a difficult task of tackling $1 trillion in annual deficits, reducing a $16 trillion national debt, overhauling expensive social programs, and dealing with a gridlocked U.S. Congress that kept the same partisan makeup. Farah Hajlouni for the news at
Middle East leaders expressed hope for stronger cooperation with the United States after Obama's election win. However, Iran reacted coolly to the re-election as it condemned the crimes of U.S. sanctions and indicated the president should not expect rapid new negotiations with Tehran. Hala Dababne is following up on the reactions.
Obama's re-election was met with mixed reactions. For the Palestinians, his win over Romney stirred little emotion.
Well, I hope the second term for President Obama will be a term for prosperity, stability, peace, and democracy in the Middle East region, during which we will see the end of the Israeli occupation and the establishment of a Palestinian state on 67 lines to live side by side in peace and security with the state of Israel.
The Palestinian group Hamas, which runs the Gaza Strip, asked President Obama to re-evaluate his foreign policy and end the American bias to Israel. Israeli Defense Minister Ehud Barak voiced certainty that Obama's second administration will continue to support Israel.
I'm confident that the policies of the Obama second term will be based on backing of the security of Israel, a sincere attempt to tackle head-on the challenges that our region faces.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu pledged to cooperate with Obama on security issues, despite 4 years of frosty relations and a rift over how to prevent Tehran from building a nuclear bomb. Across the Middle East, Obama's re-election was met more with relief than joy in a region that welcomed him in 2008 and still has bitter memories of his Republican predecessor, George W. Bush. The Arab League said President Obama should work to establish Palestinian statehood and lasting peace.
المطلب العربي هو إقرار سلام.
The Arab demand from President Obama's second term is that he implements comprehensive and fair peace in accordance with the international standards and the United Nations resolutions. This is a demand which, if achieved, will introduce peace to the whole region. This will not go against the interests of the Israeli people. On the contrary, it will be in their favor.
Egypt's Muslim Brotherhood said Obama has a golden opportunity in his second term to change U.S. policies towards the Arab world and to live up to the promises he made at the start of his first term. Members of the Free Syrian Army said they had little interest in Barack Obama's victory as violence escalates across Syria. The main Syrian opposition group, however, welcomed the election of Obama ahead of its meeting with opposition members in Qatar and hoped that Obama gives more attention to the Syrian crisis. Hala Dababne for the News at 10.
News of President Obama's win has hit the airwaves around the world, leading newscasts from Australia to Pakistan. Anchormen and women opened their shows with news of the U.S. presidential elections. Congratulations and reactions to the re-election started pouring from all over the globe. Liz Shankriti has more on how the world reacted to the outcome of the U.S. polls.
There has been expressions of hope around the globe after Obama's re-election. World leaders hope for stronger cooperation with Washington, issues ranging from terrorism to international trade. Russian President Vladimir Putin said he hoped Obama's re-election would have a positive impact on relations with the United States, which have been strained by differences over issues ranging from missile defense to human rights and the conflict in Syria. China's official media said Obama's re-election offered the opportunity to put Sino-US relations back on track after it said mutual trust had been whittled down during his first term. Improving relations, especially in trade, would not only U.S. investment with rich business opportunities, but also help to revive the sagging global economy. Pakistani President Asif Zardari called on Obama's victory a clear reaffirmation of his leadership. Afghan President Hamid Karzai said he hoped Obama's re-election would allow U.S.-Afghan ties to further expand, even as the United States plans to withdraw most combat troops by the end of 2014. India's government also sent official congratulations to the U.S. President. Britons were also more in favor of Barack Obama than his defeated rival. They welcomed Obama retaining the American presidency, so did Japanese and business leaders who said they hoped he would continue to focus on Asia during the second term. Obama has initiated a shift of U.S. international focus towards Asia. Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper said he looked forward to cooperating with Obama on initiatives to generate jobs and growth to both sides of the border.
I congratulate President Obama on his victory. I know it was a very hard-fought election, and we look forward to working with the President for the next 4 years. We've had a very good and productive working relationship. We're both focused on jobs and growth in the global economy, particularly in North America.
Council President Herman Van Rompuy hopes Obama's victory will lead to closer ties between EU and US.
I'm very happy with the re-election of President Barack Obama. The European Union and the US are close friends and key partners. And together we fought and we are still fighting for values such as peace, freedom and democracy.
German Chancellor Angela Merkel told reporters in Berlin that she's looking forward to more cooperation with the Obama administration.
I would like to congratulate re-elected President Barack Obama from the bottom of my heart We know each other well, and I am looking forward to our cooperation, also in light of the stabilization of the transatlantic relationship between the German government, Germany and the United States, but also between Europe and the United States. My heartfelt congratulations on this day today.
As the world to the news that Americans had voted Barack Obama into second term in office, in a faraway Kenya, Sarah Obama, the president's grandmother, led villages in Kogelo in song and dance to celebrate the victory.
He is welcomed home. I would just like to tell him to give his best to the people who have shown their faith in him by electing him.
Leif Shankiti for the news at 10.
Syrian rebels fired mortars at the presidential palace in Damascus but missed. The attack underlines the growing boldness of forces fighting to topple the regime. As violence flared in other parts of the country, Turkey said it is about to ask NATO to station Patriot missiles along its border with Syria to guard against violence spilling onto its territory. Luay Balkar reports on the latest fighting.
Explosions rattled Damascus as mortar attacks hit government walls. A rebel unit called the Tehran Brigade claimed responsibility for the attacks which struck the hilltop neighborhood of Mezza, near the presidential palace that serves as a residence for many members of Bashar al-Assad's Alawite sect. The Mezza military airfield and the Prime Minister's administrative complex were hit, though activists said mistakes caused them to miss the presidential palace and hit the district instead. Fierce shelling and airstrikes by regime forces were also reported in eastern Ghouta area and several areas of the Damascus suburbs, causing extensive damage to buildings while clashes raged between the rebel fighters and government troops. The rebels fought pro-Assad militiamen in Nisreen, a southern district mainly populated by members of the Alawite sect. The Syrian war has claimed about 32,000 lives and left many parts of the country in ruins. The situation in Saudi is turning grimmer every day, and the risk is growing that the crisis could explode outward into an already volatile region. Luay Balkar for the news at 10.
In the ATP World Tour Finals, David Ferrer beat Juan Martin del Potro 6-3, 3-6, 6-4. The Spaniard's victory meant he has now won 11 consecutive matches. 6-seed Potro produced far too many unforced errors, while Ferrer seemed to be full of energy from the start. After more than 2 hours, however, del Potro hit a backhand out and lost the match. Ben Ainsley and Zuleika were named World Sailors of the Year at a reception in Dublin. Ainsley added his 4th Olympic medal and medal to his tally at the London Olympic Games in August, while Zuleika is the first Chinese and the first Asian sailor to win an Olympic gold medal in dinghy. Ainsley eclipsed Paul Elvström's Olympic achievements at London 2012 by winning his 5th Olympic medal and 4th consecutive gold to become the most successful Olympic sailor of all time. Moving on to the weather forecast, fair tonight, but temperatures will drop slightly tomorrow with a chance for scattered showers in central and northern Jordan. The Meteorology Department said the kingdom will be affected by a cold front on Saturday with thundery showers in central and northern parts. However, in Aqaba it will be a pleasant night and a relatively hot day tomorrow with light winds and slightly choppy seas. Next are the lows and highs for tonight and tomorrow. And for a quick recap of the main headlines. His Majesty the King, youth leaders, they have a key role in the kingdom's reforms and should make their voice heard. The King and the British Prime Minister call for an end to bloodshed in Syria. And world leaders congratulate President Barack Obama after he wins a second term in office. That's all the news for tonight. I'm Iman Majali. For the latest, join us tomorrow, same time. Have a good night.